I'm Johan Durant, and this is the APTA Tour.
See you in Boston.
Hello and welcome to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Weston Golf Club in Weston, Massachusetts, bringing you the Boston Open Grand Prix, a 2022-23 APTA Tour event, which is the ace stop on the APTA Tour, presented by Remedy Plus and sponsored by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors Paddle Pro and Fusion, and local sponsors, title sponsor Discipline Alpha LLC, platinum sponsors Labor LLC, Worcester Air, and Weston Golf Club, and gold sponsors Xenon, Owl's Nest Resorts, Bully Boy Distilleries, and our silver sponsor Narragansett Beer. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Mark Fischel, bringing you women's semifinal round action between our number one seeds of Hana Sabori and Rodezno and Cruz. So Mark, welcome to the booth. Why don't you take a look at our players here real quick.
So at the top of the screen in the red pants and the black shirt is Flor Hanisch, and her partner Anna Maria Zabori. At the top of the screen is in red pants and a black sweatshirt.
Very color coordinated?
Yeah, very color coordinated. They always are. You see Hanisch coming over, and then the players are switching sides to warm up their serves. On the far side, Liz Cruz, three-time national champion. I guess once with Anna Brzova and twice with Gabby Nicolescu. And then her partner Marcela Rodezno, former national champion, with Macy Elliott. So we got four national champions in the court, Bradford.
We'll take a quick look at the draw, see how they got here. Neither team hard pressed at this point in time. We have the bottom half of the draw here. We're actually at the top, but so neither team actually has a big struggle yet. 6-love, 7-5 for Cruz Rodezno in there, and like you said, four national champions on the court out here. So a lot of experience out there.
So as good a team as Cruz Rodezno is, Bradford, the question has to be, do they have a chance tonight?
Yeah, no, it's a valid question because Hana Sabori have basically been the dominant team on the women's tour, not just by a little bit, by a significant margin over the last couple of years, and they're the most athletic and probably the most explosive team. I called a great semifinal match with four great athletes on the court. Last time in the women's quarterfinal, and athletically, I think experience-wise, Cruz Rodezno and smarts-wise certainly have the wherewithal to try to figure their way through this match. Athletically, they're a little bit, and explosiveness, they're a little behind.
Yeah, and Hana Sabori have really taken it to another level. The way they practice, the way they prepare for tournaments, it's just a different level. I don't know how much. Obviously Cruz is from Chicago, Marcelo Rodezno is in the Fairfield County area. They're obviously not practicing much together, and you know that Hana Sabori are working on their games all the time.
Right. No, absolutely. There's no question. And Hana Sabori actually have, they're almost like, I don't think Analytics has really made a big move into paddle yet, but if there's a team that's using something close to analytics, it's a team like Hana Sabori.
Yeah, I've heard that they're watching all the matches again and listening to what you're telling them in terms of getting ready for the next match.
Well, I've got no royalties on it, and I think that might be a lawsuit that could be forthcoming. But anyway, it's been a great tournament for both these guys. And Cruz Rodezno, as you brought up, a good point, they know each other well, and they have a lot of experience.
I think they played Davis Cup, Junior Davis Cup together many years ago.
Yeah, El Salvador, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and then, so they know each other really well. They have a really good connection and a partnership. I think the keys, if we're going to talk about sort of like a keys for winning kind of thing for them, is to managing the pace. The faster it goes, it's going to be tough for them. Now, Liz Cruz is kind of one of the masters. She built her national championships on placing the lob well. She's money on, she doesn't feel pressure. When the pressure's on, she's not afraid to go for the drive, but she builds her points. She doesn't let them get out of control. And you're going to see Hana Sabori who want to make these points flow and make them move fast.
Hana Sabori can beat you in so many ways. It
Sure.
makes them so dangerous as a team. They can win fast, they can win slow. Their margins, as we talked about in the last match, are very large. Whereas the Cruz Rodezno margin in this match is, they just got to play really, really well and give nothing away. They need to have a chance.
That's just to have a chance.
Just to have a chance.
Right. No, and I agree with you 100%. The window of opportunity is much smaller. Hana Sabori could get down 5-love, and if I told you they were down 5-love in this match, would you call Cruz Rodezno as the winner? Would you start taking them? You probably wouldn't. You'd be like, they're going to figure it out, and they got the next two sets, right? Where if it were the other way around, you certainly would call it that way. But That being said, 4 national championships on the court, and players with a ton of experience. It's just going to be a question. I think Cruz and Rudezno are going to have to lob amazingly well, keep the ball deep, and then they get their opportunities. Transition-wise, large advantage would go to Hana Sabori, transitioning back and forth. Cruz Rudezno have to keep it sort of like in the pocket, like they're going to move through in a methodical way. They're going to have to really lock down the net, make sure they know they have all the shots covered. So it'll be interesting. We'll see a great matchup, and we, of course, on the other streaming court have the other women's semifinal. So that's going to be going on as well, and a great win for Quiro Medeiros, and they'll be playing against Sakura and Morgan, who also had a great win. So 2 teams there, not seated in the top 4, battling out in the other women's semi.
Yeah, Quiro Medeiros, that's the team that has the athleticism. That's an explosively athletic team.
Absolutely.
So that's the team you're looking for a final tomorrow. That's where I'd put my money.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously their goal. And you're right, in terms of the ability to match up athletically, they do. But anyway, we look forward to a great match. And as you mentioned before, very hard to tell Hanish and Sabori apart. They're both wearing visors, they're both wearing black vests, and they're both wearing red pants. And they both have the same kind of paddle. Wait, little difference in the paddle maybe? But, we'll try in one point in time to see if we can get a difference, or maybe we can ask one to remove a visor. But safe to say Sabori is in the ad court, and Hanish is in the deuce court, and we're underway.
And Hanish will be doing a lot of lobbing, and Sabori will be driving a lot of balls.
And, but that being said, Hanish drives whatever she feels like. She's got one of the best drives in the game as well.
Okay, chair umpire Rick Eddy.
Connecticut is Marcella Rudezno. And on my left, from Plainfield, New Jersey.
And one of the things you're just watching Hanish, just bounce up and down right now. And they both have ponytails, by the way. So as she has the best positive body language of anyone on the
Amazing.
It's just nonstop positivity.
Okay, Anna Maria Sabori to serve, to Liz Cruz to get us started. We talked about Hana Sabori might have the 2 best serves in the women's game.
Yeah, they go overhand, but they can actually change the paces. They go hard sometimes. They go a little softer. They hit challenging serves. See, these are great lobs to start. This is going to be, to me, a crucial point for Rudezno and Cruz. But here's that great
around the net.
Track down. She had a around the post shot available to her, just barely got there though.
Great early action.
No, this is perfect. I mean, it's kind of exactly the point that both teams want to play in a sense. Cruz Rudezno make it hard for them to win it, and lob it well. Just back.
15 love.
That's a great shot with the crowd in the background. It's literally been a perfect day to watch paddle out here. That's a great spotted drive, and there's a great transition point, and you just see the spots you can put on that drive, just makes her reach.
That Sabori forehand is so heavy.
30-15.
Yeah, it's heavy, but it's also versatile. Like, she can hold it and sort of push it low, a little softer, and then she actually can really beef up the pace.
But she's great at blitzing behind it too when she hits that dipper. A little confusion there from Cruz Rudezno.
Going to your earlier point, sort of before the match started, you were saying the window is not that large for Cruz Rudezno. That's something they're just going to have to clean up. there aren't that many spare points for them to take off. You know, they got to be locked in here.
So that cut overhead from Flor Hanisch. They're out there with the ball machine practicing that shot on a regular basis.
Yep.
Played 50 of them.
James, Hanisch, Sabori, they lead the
The
first
pressure
set
their
1
overheads are
game
putting
low.
on causes that lob miss from Rodezno. You get different sneakers, Bradford.
So you can tell by the sneakers?
There's sneakers.
They totally have different sneakers, which, by the way, goes to say that their team unity only goes so far,
yeah.
right? It actually does stop at a point. You know, they really brought it all the distance. But, you know, we're making kind of a couple of jokes about it, but they're really, their ability to stay in lockstep on what they want to do in a match is clearly one of the things that separates them and makes them, you know, best team in the country by a little margin at this point.
And it all starts with me with Flor Hanisch. I mean, she's the one that does so much in the way of preparation, takes it so seriously that she just forces Sabori to up her ante.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sabori also, you know, could be the type of player that we talk about that goes off the rails and does one thing or another because she's so talented. You know, but they play in unison as a team, and they really don't have any weaknesses, right? I mean, technically, if you want to see anything happen, you want Sabori to hit a backhand, right? You know, it's the weakest shot on the court, but it doesn't mean she can't hit a little chip drop and blitz behind it. You just have to be so judicious about the shots you play.
15 all.
And then you have to do it again and again and again because Hanisch and Sabori aren't going to give you anything, usually, or very little. Like every team, they have their moments.
15-30.
Sabori more than Hanisch. Hanisch will give you nothing.
Yeah.
Sabori will make some mistakes, tends to hit the overhead too hard from deep in the court periodically. And she's also obviously also playing much more aggressively, so she's prone to more errors.
Right. Yeah, it's sort of the roles they play on the team. And that being said, when we say that, Hanisch does not lack offense. She has great drives on both sides. It's just more of a controlled offense, right? Placed in a spot, designed to
40,
deliver
30.
blitzes, occasional misses. Sabori misses 2 drives and flags him long, but like a great hitter, she just goes right back at it, sticks the next one right through Rodezno. It's a nice transition back. She got her on her heels backing off, and I think Cruz started feeling the pressure of they're moving around, so she went for the drive. Sometimes you go for the drive just because it makes your opponent's volley, right? That's what she was trying to do there, but not in position to do it. Wrong choice. Oh, nice recovery from Rodezno. Well done. I mean, that was great.
Yeah, you thought they were in trouble when Sabori hit that little chip backhand.
Well, let's be fair. They were in trouble.
Yeah.
She just made an amazing get and then closed it off. So great job. You know, the Boston Open to me is sort of like the start of national season. You know, all the teams are out here. Every day they do an amazing job. They got full stands, great food. And it sort of starts it off. This is where all the teams are sort of, you know, kind of ramping into
The road to nationals.
the final road. You know, the first half of the season is not so much, right? You know, does anybody even remember who won the tournament, you know, in October, right? It's all about where you're going from here. And this is where all the teams come out and play, and it's been an amazing roundup so far. A great couple of wins, like we said, the other semifinal going on. That's a great win for Socorro Morgan and Kira Medeiros.
Yeah, both underdogs coming through. Harnish is going to hurt you less with her driving, but she's going to set up the point so beautifully, and you're not going to get errors from her.
It's just a great play. 2 spotted drives, catches Redesno in forehand volleys, can't control him, and then she goes right at Cruz there. Great shot
with her right hip.
Oh, too tricky. She could have blasted it right through the middle. She went with a soft drive. Still got to have a little follow through there. Less of a backswing.
Positive energy from Liz Cruz.
Now Cruz is a great competitor. She's one of these quiet sort of, but you know, you'll get the fist bump out of her, and she's a pressure player. Like match point down, she's not one of these. She'll lob a million balls and play consistent, but she's not afraid to pull the trigger. She's ready to go.
You don't think her 3 national championships are attributable to good draws?
You know, that's all a testament to it.
Yeah, maybe the most impressive was the last one in Pittsburgh. She and Gavin Nicolescu were just getting rolled by Nika and Laura Barron. It's just, they found the answers. They came up with a new strategy, switched sides after the first set, and just gutted it out. That was a big forehand there from Zabori.
Ricocheted off Redesno up into Rick Eady, our umpire. I wonder if that'll affect him on any overrules in the future.
We don't like them because he's a hit.
Right. Maybe he'll blame it on Zabori. I love how Cruz and Redesno are at least going about this. That's long. A couple of misses there. Actually, there were 4 drive misses there from Zabori. You know that's not going to continue. She's going to zone in on that spot. That's her shot. She's got to keep hitting it. But right now, Cruz Redesno, great start. They hung in there.
And Zabori's got so much belief. Last year's finals of National of Long Island, he played a bad first set against the Nicolescu, and she just kept swinging. She reversion to the mean, and obviously they won in 3 sets.
Yeah.
Okay, Flor Harnish to serve to Liz Cruz.
Little spin on that ball makes the ball go a little bit right off the paddles. Got a little more left.
Zabori switching at the net. Get that Zabori overhead in the middle.
She's going to go long and deep with these balls. She tries to set up a pattern, Zabori, you know, where she's pushing the ball long and deep to the middle, gets the guy away, and then goes long and deep behind. Ooh, there's a little luck. She gets a kind of an Olay forehand volley there.
Great point.
Yep.
15 all.
Flor Harnish, just as you talked about earlier, so positive. She just plays every point hard. Remember last year in the finals of Boston, they saved match points in the finals against the Nika Nicolescu, and I remember talking to her. It was exciting. You saved those match points, and she was like, "You were down match points."
Right.
She's just in the moment. Doesn't matter what the score is. She's going to play every point to the best of her abilities, and that's the essence of competition.
Watch these balls land, Mark, each time. within 3-4 feet of the baseline. It's just precision and practice, deep every single time. Even if Redesno wants to take a drive, there is nothing to hit there. Even if she drives it, there's no way she's going to do any damage. They finally get the short overhead, and then they try to start going to work. It's just perfection of hitting reset overheads one after another. And that look from Cruz, she took it, but still not a good look.
No,
Ball's
it's not
lower
a
than
good
the
look.
net, behind the baseline, not coming out in front. And she just got frustrated because they hit so many good ones in a row. Most teams hit 3-4 good ones, but not 7 or 8 or 9 or 10, right? And that's sort of the essence of paddle ABCs, right? Lob well, get your opponent to hit the short overhead, then you can drive it, force them to miss a volley. They just don't hit that many short overheads, so you've got to be super patient. There's a good look. Well played.
Zbori's hitting a lot of cut overheads deep in the court. That's a dangerous shot.
Yeah, but she's not going for them in an offensive way. She's really cutting them through the court. You know, she's not designed to miss, and they're really working as sort of long, deep resets. I wouldn't say she's taking risk, is my point. As she's made 10 in a row. But like I said earlier, this is great lobbing from Redesno and Cruz. This is exactly what they want. Perfect lobbing. First short lob they've given her. There she is, back behind the service line again. And that's where the play works on itself. It's like Novocaine, one good overhead after another. Finally, Cruz Redesno go for a ball that's really not ideal. Redesno hits that one. Right there for Hanish to put it away.
2 games to 1.
So I got yelled at via text, Mark. I got to make a shout out to Karen, Christine, Maureen, Kayla, Betsy, Maura, Kelly.
Anybody else?
Yeah, there might be one more in there. It's all going too fast. But shout out to the Garden City Ladies who texted me earlier.
Okay. So Marcella Redesno to serve to Flor Hanish.
Oh, I forgot Jan.
Terrible.
That's a great blitz. It's so good. See, this is where if they try to dial it up athletically, like if Redesno doesn't have a stick volley there that she's going to play fully offensively, they've got to err on the side of keeping it slower, not speeding it up. So there you got a good blitz. Redesno has what she thinks is kind of a shot, but still, you got a closing Hanish, and it ends up working against them.
Well, that's what we talked about. They've got so many ways to beat you.
Right.
So many weapons in the arsenal.
So that's part of the sort of the mental prep. That's out too. I think she's faulted twice here, low 40. It's part of the preparation for them that they have to realize that unless you have, it's got to be like a lockdown ball. Don't take a ball that's 60, 30, 40 or 50-50.
That's love 40.
It is. Nice dig. And like we said, the reversion to the mean. She's starting to get that forehand going.
15-40.
15-40.
That's the shot I don't understand. Like, you got to keep going long and deep into the
Zbori back
end.
side wire.
You cannot flirt around. When I'm playing Zbori, even the push over into the middle panel, I'm just not hitting it.
Right.
I'm pushing that ball deep and back into that right corner, and I'm making her move to her left if she wants to hit that forehand. Oh, that's a fault.
Just can't afford to donate games like that.
And
3
that's
faults.
3 faults, and then the one sort of volley that she probably should have lobbed on. All right, 3-1. Good positioning. They're having fun with it, though. She actually hit a pretty good tweener drive.
Yeah.
Love 15.
Nicely done. She kept it low, but Cruz, they know at this point she's going to put a few of those in there. That's a great shot. not sure there's ever been a more fluid player than Zaboria.
Yeah.
I mean, Nika's pretty fluid.
Yep, she is.
You know, Niculescu is different.
15 all.
It's not the same fluidity.
No, I agree.
It's effective. No, by no means I'm not saying that, but
Yeah, just everything Zaboria does is beautiful. Changes sides well.
I'm not sure she's a very good artist.
How could you say that? She's published.
Oh, it's a good look there, but she's got a continental forehand. She tries to shove it down the line, but it wasn't available.
30-15.
Problem is, was he going to win the point?
She hit it harder, could have, but she wasn't really ready to hit it. This is another perfect reset deep. Just using the backside of the court. It's just so hard to get a good drive against it. Smart. You know, and there are versions like you just called the Durant match. Durant actually, you said they were sublime, they were great.
I'm going to call that a match, Fred.
Okay, they're victory.
There were four guys on the court. I don't know if that was a match.
But the point is actually that I'm trying to make is you'll see Zaboria doing some of the things that you actually see out of Durant. She's holding her ball, faking a cut, and then pushing the ball deep. Really, how many other women in the game right now are doing that?
None.
40-15.
I wouldn't see Nika's specifically doing that, not holding it like that.
Right.
Actually, some kudos to the, speaking of her ladies from the New Canaan Field Club from Connecticut have a tent,
That's
a
awesome.
heater, 2 couches that they have set up in the back, all for the cheering section.
The 22-23 APT Tour is brought to you by Remedy Plus. When you need the extra boost in the paddle court, grab a great tasting, body fueling Remedy Plus bar and Remedy Plus shot. Fuel your body right with Remedy Plus. Bradford, I noticed that you're not fueling your body with Remedy Plus right now.
Well, I've fueled it right before,
Oh.
so I'm not really in need of Remedy Plus at this moment, but I think everyone would be wise to get a little remedy in their life.
Okay, Liz Cruz to serve, 1-4, first set. Seeing our ticker. McNerney Nolan up 6-4 to love over Berger Doya, the defending national champions.
Yeah, and Berger Doya, it's sort of like they came out hot in the beginning of the year, and they have not played since.
Yep, that was the only tournament they played all year. There you see Cruz staying back. And I like to move her to stay back, but she and Rodesno have to be on the same page.
Yeah,
She's going to drive that ball. Rodesno cannot hang up there like that. Got to be more committed to the drive. Bostrom Nolan in the third set against Humphreys Osses Koenig.
Yeah, that match was, it's been a barn burner, like one great point after another.
Yeah, Bostrom Nolan, that's a fun team.
Well, Bostrom and Rams.
I'm sorry, yeah, Bostrom Rams, yeah. We'll see if it's a team or if it's just another pickup. They won the first Philly tournament earlier in the year.
Yeah, and this is a great test for them. I mean, it's a team with a ton of offense and a ton of talent. You know?
Yep.
There really isn't a place you can hit the ball in the backcourt, very few, where they're not going to get you at some point in time. They got cut finishes, they got transition play. Very tough team.
Oh, great move from Zaboria.
Yep, she's holding them in there, and they know she can slap the ball, and then she goes with the dink. It's just a great use of pace.
Nowhere to hide.
Well, right here is good, inside the hut.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah,
I was talking about the Cruz Rodesno.
You mean for them? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
It's actually a great shot. You know,
right moment, too. She caught Cruz deep in the court.
it's the right type of ball. Play her deep in the court. You got a short overhead. You could do a variety of things. They have to kind of, it gives them one more thing to have to respect.
Wild forehand there from Rodesno.
Yeah.
You don't see her miss many balls like that.
15 all.
It's also probably one of the more controversial shots out there. Some people don't think she should ever be played. That's so smart. Great use of the lob volley there.
Drop shot?
Call. Right on the line. Amazing lob. Great track down by Desno.
On or off off the net there.
Yep, well off the net, and just not a hard drive, just an off-pace drive, but that's a great
15.
recognition. You know, we always talk, Mark, about choices and understanding the situation that's going on. She knew when she was off the net, so she didn't pull the hard drive, she pulled the soft drive that goes at the service line. So important to see those opportunities.
Wow, this first set's going fast.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, very little room. I think they started out well, Cruz-Rodezno. Things have speeded up dramatically. Hard time to win points out here. See, it's sort of, oh, that's a great lob. But it's sort of like they hit so many good deep overheads too. It's like you have to hit 20 good lobs. And even when you hit the good lob, Hana Sabori put the ball within a foot of the baseline again. So they're gonna have to either throw in a blitz or, you know, occasional move. They're just having a hard time finding the opportunity to make Hana Sabori miss.
They both serve so well.
Ooh, see, and that's great lob. But that's not really them making them miss. That's just a miss,
Yes.
right? You know, from Zabori.
Back-to-back hugs from Hanish Zabori. And 2 bad calls from Hanish.
Yep. Situation called for that.
The hug or the bad call?
Oh, absolutely.
You're going to chart that for us later on, show us exactly how it worked?
If you were a hugger, you would know.
Definitely a hugger, Bradford. Great get there from Rodezno.
Look at that. So they have the duck down. She goes behind, and that allows Hanish to stay on top of the net and cover any possible drives in the off chance, which doesn't happen that often, that they hit a bad overhead. And you watch, Hanish is staying up there. Even though Zabori's doing every overhead, Hanish is waiting for the moment that the drive's coming. And then she'll get ready to poach and cut it off and hit a volley behind or drop volley. That's a great drive there. That's a nice setup.
I just don't see where the offense is going to come from here from Cruz-Rodezno. And the overheads are so good.
I mean, there was good offense. It was a great volley from Hanish. And then I think Rodezno misses that just because she's trying to make it better.
Yep.
You know, she's trying to blast it through him. That's a fair point. Not sure you're wrong. Look at that. She puts air on the ball at the exact right time. She's moving back behind it. That's going to go down, but she's close enough. This is going to go slightly up and long. Yeah. Their choices are just absolutely right each time.
Hanish is just so good technically. She makes so few mental mistakes. So
Just out. Oh, called in?
Called in, yeah. The ball was clearly long.
Clearly, but those guys are great sportsmen.
A little bit low.
A little bit low. You're absolutely right. But when you're up 5-1 and you're closing out the set, these are your moments. Cruz-Rodezno, we always talk about at the end of the set, you want to play the points right. It's really just.
Except you don't want it to be the end of the set if you're
Right.
Cruz-Rodezno.
But these guys are just playing them so perfectly in the way they want to do it. They're able to execute their game plan. Hana Sabori, I wouldn't say Cruz-Rodezno are lobbing poorly. You know, they're lobbing okay. They just, even when they get the look, they got Hanish there to cut off, and they're just getting very few looks as it is. I mean, the overheads have just been almost perfect. That's a good drive, just a great volley.
Constant pressure with the overheads.
And you were talking about the cuts from deeper. That's what I was saying. These are not cuts like that are finishing cuts. They're just balls that are low and long and through. They're just constant, difficult balls.
Set point number 4. And 4 is the magic number as they win the first set 6-1.
I mean, just a perfect working-like set from Hana Sabori, what you would expect. Cruz-Rodezno going to look for some more answers in the second set, so we'll be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by My Paddle.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a deliciously energizing power pack. See how much farther you can go with Remedy Plus.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour presented by Remedy Plus. We are in women's semifinal action between our #1 seeds of Hana Sabori, who just looked like the #1 seeds, Mark, winning a 6-1 set against two former national champions, Cruz and Rodesno. And, you know, they're going to be looking for some answers. I'm not sure what it should be at this point. If they're staying back, you know, Hana Sabori are hitting perfect overhead after perfect overhead. And when they're back there, they're struggling. When they're at the net, they're struggling to put any pressure on them.
They've spent very little time at the net.
I think that's going to be hopefully the key down the road. And they got to pick a spot. I'm not sure, and you mentioned it earlier, sort of when we were off air. Cruz Rodesno live in different. They know each other very well for many, many years. So
Fed
they have
Cup
a
teammates
real.
we talked about, Coach.
Correct. Yeah.
El Salvador.
But they have a connection. But still, time on the court is time on the court.
Yep.
You know, and they live in different parts of the country at this point. And you know, they aren't locked down on where they're playing their overheads each time, where they want it to go. Personally, for me, if it doesn't go long and deep to the Sabori backhand, it's bad overhead. You know, unless they have something where they can attack. You know, something they're doing some more and creating certain types of movement.
And their best chance of winning is just kind of grinding this out.
I don't know how they're going to win it offense to offense.
Here they've gotten a bunch of errors from Hana Sabori.
Nice touch there from Cruz.
Great recovery from Sabori.
But these little moves, like in we talked about it a little earlier too, just in terms of where the advantages lie for Hana Sabori, in that transition zone, Liz Cruz is a great volleyer. If you come at her hard, she can volley the ball, but they're dinking it, moving in behind it, making her think about whether she should be up or back, catching her a little off the net, you know, and just basically all the phases of the game right now they're taking advantage of. That's a great shot. Another perfect example of when to use the hard overhead. She's got a short ball, she's doing the dive of long cuts. The key with those things is you got to see it happening, but Sabori is one of the players who can hold the ball and actually it's slow even when it looks like she might hit it hard.
This is that forehand, and they're on the board to start set number 2.
Like every match, you keep grinding and you wait for your opportunity, right?
And
Hana
hope,
Sabori,
hope your opponent's level drops.
correct. Hana Sabori, I would say, played an almost relatively error-free set.
Yes.
Perfect overheads deep, right? Giving them nothing. Good shots into the corner, good spots here and there. They got to hope they get a few more misses. They got a couple there, and then they got to capitalize when they get them, right? If they played that well in this set too, like perfect choices, perfect shots each time, I don't know that I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
There's Sabori switching with the net to get Sabori over in the middle again.
You know, we talked about a little bit about things like analytics, but it's just even understanding play. They understand combinations of balls. Hana Sabori.
There's a really good example of a ball that Rodesno drives. Cruz isn't in position, just wrong ball to choose.
Yeah.
And they just can't afford that. They can't drive the 50-50 balls or 60-40 balls.
That's going to be a winner. Oh my God, it's not a winner. She goes for the cutter. You get in on the action at 6-1. Might as well. Good time to practice it, but what a get. Great shot. Perfect time. but the lob's short.
Yep.
You know, if they're not going to lob long enough, they're going to struggle anyway.
Yep, got a lot better. That was wide too.
I mean, it's hard because she covered it with her paddle, but just from the angle itself, I would have thought it was wide. She hasn't missed a single one of these. There we go.
Kiss to death. You have to open your mouth.
KOD, baby.
Jeez.
40-15.
If you're gonna miss 140, love's not the worst time.
The worst time, but I think that's the first one she missed. No, that's not.
Game.
We didn't see the top half of the draw, but how many games have Hana Shibori lost today?
I think they lost 4 games in a quarter.
Quarter?
Like love and 4 or something.
Yeah.
Or 4 and love. But they're just overwhelming right now. I mean, you've seen Shibori miss a couple of forehands. But that's not a pathway to victory right there.
No, you have to win some points on your paddle. You know, like against a team like that. You know, when you're winning points on their paddle, that's just good fortune. That's not, you know, that's a really good serve, I have to say. That one is a 1 point.
30
Even though it wasn't on her paddle, that's a great serve. So that is an earned point right there.
Ready to lob from Shibori.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect down the line. She's setting, and then she's going to move to the middle. So she's going to put that ball there, and then she's going to swallow the middle up. Oh, nice move. Great close from Ledesma.
Tremendous lobbing for Hana Shibori right now. Really opening the board up.
Well, that's a great point. I was just about to sort of bring that up. You watch Hanish do it. She's going to lob one cross court. She's going to go down the line, right? So she's pushing one player back, one player in, back in. Nobody gets to stay in the same position twice in a row. It's kind of textbook play. It's beautiful. But it's the kind of stuff that's like, it makes me wonder why everybody should know that's what they should be starting to do, right? You know, copy that. And if you can't control the overhead, well, if you want to compete with these guys, you better. On the lob,
right.
you better.
This is where the bar is right now.
Right, that's exactly where it is. And it's a perfect combination of all. None of these balls are designed to win the point. They're all just moving pieces around the board until the ball that they get to win the point happens. You know, or to force the error, not even win the point. I'll say force the error happens. Because they're actually smart enough to know they're not trying to win points, they're forcing error. This is a perfect point, and well played by Redesno and Cruz, but they're getting pushed around. They're doing nothing to Hana Shibori.
Right, Hana Shibori clearly in control of the point.
And it's just, you know, the perfect use. But they're going to go to the devil they know here, which is Hana's just going to keep doing this. And they're not going to, look at Shibori. Shibori's standing on the other side of the hash mark now, just looking for some offense. But it's sort of like, do you want fast death or slow death? Right? You know, which do you want? You know.
But kudos to them for changing their strategy after losing the first set.
100% this is the right choice. But I think what they do is this, and then they got to move some sort of roller into the crease at Shibori's crease. There is spaces to do something different here, like a roller at the crease here, like right at the crease. Yeah, piece and try. You know, that's the idea. Now you move it, but they're finding they're just going to keep going. And they're creating there. They got both players moving back, and if hopefully Cruz and Desna are going to get this down where it's. Yeah, and by the way, this is all you have to do to win the point. Right, the point, the one singular point, right? If Hana Shibori, you know, great move, spot drive, then she goes middle, so wide middle. And if you're looking at home, it's just a textbook perfection, right, of just moving balls around. It appears that nothing's going on, but it's one shot, the other shot, another shot.
30.
And the thing that
15.
Cruz Rodesno is struggling with, they're allowing, and it's not easy to stop at this point in time because the lobs are so good and pointed, where she's pushing one player up and the other player back. That allows her to hit off-pace drives to just pull the guy back in. So now it's just a push me, pull me, right? And they can't, the key with off-pace drives is if you're not right on the net, you have to threaten them with a drop shot or cut them off. And she was able to hit like 6 off-pace drives just as another moving piece, right, in that point. It was a great point. It was actually, X's and O's textbook.
You want to learn how to lob, watch that point.
Yeah. She's the best lobber in the game without a doubt. Although I would say Sabori hit 7 lobs right down the line perfectly in that point too. So you're going to give her some credit too. And look, she's just hitting chip forehands. She didn't expect her to miss. It's just another way to move her around. That's all.
This is the lob there. And takes
40,
15.
But you can see Rodesno's face like, oh.
That's all we have to do.
All right, this is big though. I mean, they keep grinding. This is what, to me, this is what I knew they had to do. They got to grind.
It's their only option.
They got to grind. This is going to be it. And they get this game and keep the pressure on at least, because they need to stay close to put the pressure on, so that if Hana Sabori has some scoreboard pressure, exactly right. And then you might get a miss from Hana Sabori. It's not like Sabori hasn't missed 4 or 5 drives. She has.
Yep.
I mean, they just need that. They can't be clawing back from 4-2 and 5-1. There's the dink. And see, the dink is killing them because
that's lob volley retreat.
100% right, Mark. It's a lob volley retreat. She's trying to play a dink around her, but it's not enough movement on the dink. She could go at her or lob volley retreat, and lob volley retreat is the smart move there with Sabori's hands. Great volley. And that's perfect switch. Letting Sabori do her thing with the forehand.
Sabori should have stayed in there.
I haven't seen this many chipped forehands since Louise Cash.
Not a shot I've seen Hanish hit a lot of in the past.
No, it's funny, but she's using it at the right time.
Oh, it's been perfect.
But it's at the right time for the moving piece. I'm not sure she shouldn't actually load up one and try to really force the air. She's just keep moving her around. Like I wouldn't mind her actually hitting it, because I think if she hit it, she might get some errors.
Critical point right now for Rodesno.
That's nice. That was a good read. Redirected the volley. This is perfect. And there you see the other aspect. Pretty good turnaround drive from Cruz, but it's just beautiful. You hit a bad lob, you're going to pay the price. But they're so quick, Hana Sabori. She's on the net hitting an offensive volley.
Yep, Cruz was lucky there. She drove that ball in transition. It didn't get burned. Easily have lost the point there. And again, this is a perfect game. That just the margins are so small.
Yeah, they're up 40-15, Mark.
40 love this game, I think.
And maybe you're right. I don't remember back, but they have but just good points, and it's like Novocaine is just giving them nothing. That's a little long. That's long. Confirmed. Good call there from Liz Cruz. I thought it was long. Umpire thought it was long. What do you think, Mark?
I thought it was long too, Brad.
Okay, good. I'm
just supporting you as my
full
teammate.
Consensus. Full consensus.
Mark Innes, did you think that ball was long or not? Mark Innes said definitely. So there you go.
Mark Innes would say 100%.
100%. Everybody's with me. Hanish misses that return. Another game point opportunity for Cruz Rodesno.
Yeah, they got to take these moments. I mean, a couple of misses there.
Mark, we're talking a little bit about the block lob, which is Hanish so brilliantly.
Oh, what a take! That is amazing. Way to go from Rodezno there. Yeah, so the block lob is a crucial part of the game, actually. And one of the earliest things you have to do when you start learning to play the backcourt. And you can steal time with the block lob. You can push it, step up, push it low, and move it around spots. And whenever you block lob, you're taking time away from your opponents. Whenever you're letting it go to the screen, you're adding time to the shot. So the key is to know when to do both. And the block lob can be used to hit a quick one up, stand in and attack, and then occasionally use a block ball short and use a blitz behind it. That's just not the ball. And
Too
again,
deep in the court,
it's
too
too
low.
deep in the court, and they just don't give you anything. So when you get anything that's even close to the margin, you take it because the discipline to not, because you're getting nothing else. It was actually the best ball she had.
Right.
Right. Even though it's the wrong ball, it's still the best ball she had. It's just the wrong shot, and that's what they want you to do. I would say Hanish is probably the best block lobber in the game on the women's side. Men's side.
I'm not even sure you need to say women's side.
Yeah, she's one of them, sure. The men's side, there are a few good guys, too. That's just, it's beautiful. Nice track down, but again, they're getting them in motion, and they know that's where their advantage lies. They want her running up. Even if she makes the shot, that gives them an opportunity to volley behind. All right, break point again. I love how Cruz Rodezno are fighting here.
Zabori's missed 7, 8 forehands this set.
He's missed a fair amount.
And it's 1-all deuce.
Yeah,
And that's when we're talking about margins.
Right. You know, but this is all you need. Right, you're saying they haven't won this game yet.
Right, haven't won the game.
She's missed 7 forehands. Right, that's what it's like. You know, right. There's a huge ball. Wow. Great cover.
Yep, great cover.
I missed it.
Caught her hat though.
I believe it's a visor.
Visor counts as a hat?
I don't know. I don't think it does.
Really?
I have no idea.
Okay.
The actual strict definitions of hatness.
Something you wear over your head.
There you go. But your head's through it. It's kind of developing.
Oh, that's a great volley there from Cruz Rodezno.
Yeah. You know, Cruz, great position volleyers. They're great position volleyers. But where they're missing is that sort of transition volley or the close-in volley. You know, the kind you need where you see the drive coming, you move closer, playing for position.
Great action there. Hanish with the blitz and was ready for the dribbler leg break.
What I love about this game more than anything else, they get the lob error there, is that Cruz Rodezno are giving them the opportunity to miss a few here. And the longer it goes, the better it is, no matter what happens.
Yep.
The longer it goes, the better it is.
Well, this is the pace of play they have to play at to win.
That's out. Great help call. You know, great recognition of a ball that's going possibly at the corner. It didn't. It's always there if it does. Oh, just fools her. Ah, perfect. Another help call, perfectly
Great
done.
trail from Zabori.
the overhead. Good. Get him out of position a little. This is great work from Cruz Rudezno here. They're actually making these guys work, and they're hitting at the crease now. So you see the lobs aren't actually doing all the controlling here. That's good. Vulnerable to the dink.
Yeah, they're off the net.
Part of that's the great lobbing, but it's also part of the, sort of that athleticism to move up and back. They can't commit fully up and in.
Good ball there for Cruz. This is the error.
Wow, that's a great point. These are really good points. They're really taking it to a level where they understand the importance of each individual moment.
Okay. Osix, Koenig, Humphreys. Into the semifinals. Yep. They're going to play Durant Mitchell tomorrow morning.
Wow.
8 o'clock. Early wake-up call, Brad.
Terrific match. Those from Boston Rams. Ossis Koenig and Humphreys really made amazing steps forward this year. Playing in there.
Okay, so let's see if Cruz Rudezno can keep this up now.
I mean, they round that out the way they need to. And keeping it up is like, yeah, I mean, that's what they're going to have to do. I mean, I agree with you. They're going to have to just keep working with points like this. And what they did there that was so much better is control their overheads, place a few more balls into the net, and basically started doing, they had to do what Hannes Zabori did just as well or better, meaning giving them nothing and then take it, and they actually got, as you said, 7 or 8 errors off the Zabori forehand.
They were beautiful errors, but errors nonetheless.
Nonetheless. But here's the area where, I think it's a little more problematic. I've yet to see Cruz Rudezno hurts these guys when they're at the net. Hannes Zabori when they're at the net. We're in that.
Pick up there by Liz Cruz and their hard overhead.
Yep. If you can see it a little earlier, here it is again. That's what's going to go off the side there. Nice job. Oh, there we go. That's going to be trouble. Yes! There we go. Now that hard overhead went high and into the side screen. It wasn't the same type. She needs to go longer and at the body. Great track down from Desno. She came all the way from the ad court, though, to play that thing. But here's the stuff I love about Cruz Rudezno. We said in the beginning, this is a match of 4 national champions, Mark.
Yep.
Cruz Rudezno, they're fighters.
And this is a critical moment in the match right here for Cruz Rudezno. That missed lob there, they got to be perfect right now.
I think it's a critical moment when they get down. If they can get up, great.
Yeah, I think they've got some momentum right now, and they need to sustain it.
There's an out lob.
Get some donations from Zabori.
Yeah.
They've got to maintain their level right now and give away nothing.
Well, I on principle, I agree with that 100%. I'm just saying the danger moment for me is when they actually get down.
Yep.
Right now, it's going to be even. That was a bad drop shot there from Zabori.
You can kind of feel the match shifting right now.
There's a moment here.
And they've got to step through the door and take advantage of this moment. 15-40.
Yep. That's a great lob.
Hannes Zabori just out of position. They just had the answers. I like the patience there from Rudezno.
Oh, this is perfect. This is what they got to do, Brian. Oh.
30, 40.
Those are the 2 points they just cannot afford to play.
Yeah, the let court serve there, that's a tough break. I mean, that was a tough one. She might have tried to flick it up, but sometimes you're fully committed to your swing and then it hits the top of the net. Just his great block lob there. And you see how she stepped into it. That's what makes a huge difference. That's a nice dig. Drop shot available. Nope.
Overhead's got no margin at all.
Not a lot, but she's, you know, and there you see the Hana. She's waiting for that one thing. She's worked it out. I mean, to the point where I said she hasn't missed an overhead. She missed the overhead. She's been
Don't say
very
that again.
consistent.
It's really unfair of you to curse them with your power.
Perfect duck. You know, she doesn't move position. She goes for the duck. A lot of people move to the right. Nice. Great cross-court lob there from Cruz. Perfect time for it.
Phil Hender's one of the best technical players I think I've ever seen.
I mean, she's a great tennis player. You know, top shooter in Brazil. Great play. And that was a decent point from Cruz Rodezno.
Yep.
I like the way they approached it. They had a bunch of good lobs. Couldn't get what they needed out of it, but exactly what they need to do in the points. But like you said, the margin's small here. They had a 15-40 advantage. Bad luck on the one serve. It's a great return from Rodezno.
Good mistake from Zabori.
That.
Deuce.
Bit close. Build on the mistakes. You know, I mean, Liz Cruz to me has put her drive in her back pocket. I'm not sure it's a bad thing, though. I think it's actually probably a good thing for her to concentrate on drives, let Rodezno do whatever damage can be happening. I haven't seen her really hit the actual forehand. Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's very little like that these guys give you. You know, Hana Sabori, that's out. And they're doing exactly what they want. They're making the points long enough to give Sabori a chance to miss.
And she's
Hana,
complying.
she is complying a little bit. And they're starting, and that'll make it harder for her to keep going for those overheads as the future goes. And if the pressure abates, then they can actually move into a more offensive mindset.
Volley from Hanish, a terrific return.
That's just good. Look at that, setting the angle right there. Drops it right over, beautiful technique.
She actually hit that drop shot from below the net.
Yep, perfect. That's why she set her angle slightly up. Goes off to the side, just perfect execution. She's going to the block lob early. Now she should hold a couple of these and start to go behind Rodezno once or twice. But Rodezno is running early as soon as she gets in the windup.
It's such a great point. Missed that volley. And those are the margins. You can't afford to do that. The match is starting to turn here. They can't afford those mistakes.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, clearly she might have, I don't know if she was overcooking it or just missed it. You know, I think it's the time to be just, like you said, a little cautious.
Who's using the block lob against Hanish here?
And using it well.
Very well.
Yeah, she's stepping up into it. There we go. Now they're figuring this thing out. They're learning how to play this. Desno is doing all the work on the hard overheads. Great down the line lob. Thought she might set up her forehand there, but they're getting what they want. Overhead errors, misses. And we've seen,
Deuce.
I would think in this set already, at 2-1, we've seen more misses from Hana Sabori than maybe the first set entirely combined.
Yep, Sabori is choosing some very low margin overheads. That deep in the court, it's just really hard to get that ball on the side wire.
Yeah, she's starting to get a little drawn in. Like she wants to do damage to them with her overheads, but she's not able to. And so she's trying to make them a little better. You know, and it sort of happens that she's used the hard overhead a few times and was successful early, but now you can see that they're drying that up. Rodezno's looking to draw a bead on that hard overhead. So Sabori might want to start throwing in a couple of rollers. You know, sometimes you get relying on certain shots. Oh, it was a decent move. She was right there.
Yeah, great blitz.
She even got close.
Add it.
It's not always that easy to make that shot. But
as an example, Bradford, the other match started after this one, and they were already at 5-all in the second set.
that's the overhead I want to see more of, the roller, because it's a great hold there from Hana Sabori coming back from 15-40. Cruz Rodezno, I don't think they did anything wrong. They missed one volley in a transition situation. It just happens. But I think Sabori's going to have to start bringing out a few rollers.
On the other hand, he played 4 games, always missed 8, 9, 10 balls. And here we go at 2-all.
15 love.
Interesting, they talk about great tennis players. To me, it's never about your best, it's about your worst. It's about where your floor is. Can you win when you're playing poorly? And that's one of the things we've seen from Hana. Their floor is very high.
Right. You know, it's a great point, you know, when you turn that thing around on its head. You know, the credit you'll give to Cruz and Rodezno is they're playing the right type of strategy, allowing some of the misses to happen, right? They're not making them themselves. They're not speeding these points up to another level. They've learned how to deal with the hard overhead, you know, and so they're making it even harder for them to win separate points while they're right in the back of the line. You know, Cruz has completely put her drive in the back pocket, except for a short little chip drive here and there, because she knows that the way to do this is to make them go for more and get a miss. Or they'll go for more and you'll actually get the best opportunity you've had all day, you know, which is few and far between. So she's waiting for like the perfect ball. Hana Sabori start breaking out a roller here and there. On the right ball, of course. Because she's lost the edge on these overheads here. They're all getting played perfectly. That's a good one. There you go, right at the crease. Go after it. Perfect.
And this is the pace they have to play.
Oh, no, there's no question. I mean, you've made the point in the past about, you know, Durant Mitchell, you know, how strong they are, that people they can't mix it up. Only very few teams can try to mix it up speed to speed. So they have to slow down. And it's just a testament to their greatness. It's the same thing here. That's out. But again, it's out because they're going for more, because they're tired of not doing anything. You know, to me, it's used for the drops and some of the rollers. You know, they've lost the ability now to really move them around the court. And much better job from Cruz Rodezno here. They got to keep this going. But this to me is a testament to like champions playing. You know, Cruz Rodezno are champions.
Yep, we talked earlier about how they switched the strategy up, targeting more balls than Hanish, playing a much slower pace. That's what it's all about, looking for answers. You may not come up with them if you don't try different things. Definition of insanity.
Yeah, absolutely.
That forehand that Sabori just lobbed, suppose she would have driven 9 times out of 10 earlier in the match.
And now that it's getting
when it was
tighter,
comfortable, now it's getting
now
tighter.
It's getting tighter, right? So that's the score pressure that you were alluding to before, Mark.
Yep.
And it's not something that is like, it's a real thing. Score pressure is a very real thing. Nice, so smart, but so out. Unfortunately, a great play.
40-15.
Right, so a couple of tests for a couple of our seeded teams. Burr Shadoya in the third now against Nolan and McNerney.
And Morgan Segura bouncing back after handing a bagel in the first set.
Yeah.
They're up 6-5 in the second.
That's another team that seems to always have fun, Morgan Segura.
Yeah, they are on the happiness level. They're very high.
Is there like a certain scale or a name to the happiness scale, like the Scoville scale for
The
Eunice?
Easterbrook scale.
The Easterbrook happiness scale? Watch that right at the crease. Yeah, I love that. They gotta start going crease. That's it. They're starting to work their overheads to a point where they're using the court better, and they're right in there to this Zabori backhand, one after another. Like the amount of moves Zabori's had to the middle of the court for a forehand, outside of the return serve in the middle of the point, has been significantly less. How's Zabori missing?
Yeah.
They're starting to miss. And that's an earned error. That's a great job from Cruz Rodesno. And as I said, the only time I'm going to get worried when they get behind. Right now, they're putting scoreboard pressure on. They're making Hana Sabori work, and they're doing exactly what they need to do. Now, it's not, you know, flashy or exciting, but they're taking away all the things they need to take away from Hana Sabori and forcing the win points.
They'll see if they can break serve here.
Remember, they have a couple break points the last time?
Yep.
Yeah. They had a couple break points to go 3-1.
They're at 15-40.
Oh, good.
Eunice Cruz is probably the closest comparison to Flor Heinisch. She just does so many things well. She's so solid. Love the block lob. Never out of position. Great hands. Volleys extremely well.
Yep, I agree with that.
Doesn't have the big weapon, but then again, neither does Heinisch.
Yeah, but, you know, they both can hit drives. Liz Cruz can hit a good drive. The difference being, you know, a little more foot speed for Hanisch would be the difference maker. But in terms of the combination of how they're playing, you know, without a doubt.
And they both have 3 national championships.
Look how well they're playing these overheads now. That's
Great
just
lob.
perfect. Oh, great quick lob. It was the quickness of the lob, not even so much anything else. She took it on the half volley, flicked it up before Rodesno could get her feet set underneath her. This was a great use of time and space. Sabori had called out. I think Hana Sabori hit those hard, challenging down serves, and because they hit it harder, some of the women aren't used to taking it early. You gotta just take that thing earlier on top of the bounce.
Get it at the high point.
Yeah, and they're letting it get a little behind them. They could do damage. They just get slightly behind it.
Oh, boy.
But now, but we see with the work that this is doing. That isn't, for Hanisch, that is like an incredibly
A
blurt error.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that very often, but it's because Cruz and Rodesno are doing what they're doing.
100% agree with that.
We love that jacket. Everybody go.
There we go, great close.
Right
Wow.
on the line.
That she just
30
rolled
all.
it just enough. Right on the outside of the line. Ledesno, to me, has really taken it upon herself to do a great job covering now. She's, you know, really looking for the right space. At any time Cruz is getting pulled, she's in there to pick up the slack.
Cruz has done a great job covering the drop shot.
Yeah, and she's got to let it, and then she's got to get her back. That's the whole thing. Yeah, they've really turned this thing into a dogfight. And the first set was not that at all.
Nope.
There's a perfect opportunity ball for that. And just perfectly executed. And that one, no chance for Ledesno.
40-30.
Beautiful execution.
Point for 3-all. Bring that ball inside a little more, a little straightened out. Once it gets too much angle on it, it comes off the side screen and then it sits up. Back to deuce.
When that ball gets on that angle, I'd rather see it take it to the crease of Ledesno.
I think it's set point in the next court for Morgan Segura.
Nice. They've done a great job coming back there. Segura's got that great backhand.
And interestingly, they switched sides today, Bradford, with Segura playing the deuce court.
I think it's made a difference for her.
Yeah, she's had some back issues. Back's been bothering her, but obviously played very well.
No, I think she's got the backhand in the middle, and that just changes the sides of the spot. And you know, Morgan can move up the side.
Come on, dale, dale.
That's gonna be trouble. Nice. What a dig. Oh. Wow.
Cruz is so good at absorbing pace.
Oh, drop shot? Nope. Roller at the corner. Miss. Spot or right at the crease there.
Great blitz by Hanisch.
Oh, and no call from Cruz. Cruz has got to have the eyes for it. She's got to call out that blitz.
So on a breaker on the next court.
Nice cover. Again. Oh! But we've seen far too many of those this set.
Yep.
The waterfalls here. Just allowed it so well. See the comfort level though of Cruz Ledesno compared the first set to the second set. How they actually feel like they've controlled the pace out to where they wanted to. They were completely out of sorts a lot of times in that first set. Jerked around the court. They slowed it down to the point. They've gotten the errors they want, and now they just feel confident that they can get this ball back every time. They're going to make Hanisch Sabori win the points. so far, Hana Sabori have won some, but they're making enough errors.
It's hard to win points.
Yeah, that's where Hana Sabori have got to start finding a way to go at the creases. They've been hitting perfect overheads. And how many times, you remember in the first set how they took a few bad opportunities, like a ball's a little bit behind the baseline? When's the last time they did that, right? It's
Maybe once
disappeared.
this whole set,
Right,
yeah.
it's disappeared, which is what they need. They're shrinking the margin down, so now they're right here. They're right in the match. Look at all the stuff that Sabori and Hanish are having to go through to try to win a point, and it's driving them batty now.
Yep. We almost missed that one.
You got it. Come on. Okay, go. Come.
Just so good for Desno covering. Oh, but couldn't get back for that one. That's just beautiful. What? I mean, just a lot of work. But it was like 60 balls to get that one opportunity for the hard ball that pulls her out, gets Redezna out, and then the shot behind. Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
And there's a quick turnaround, and 3-all we are at. So, you know, like, but perfect from exactly what Cruz Redezna needed.
Absolutely, the only winning strategy for them.
Here, I'd like, you know, strangely, I almost like to see Hanish and Sabori get a little more aggressive here on the return end of things. I'm not sure if they should dial it back or dial it forward. I'm a little, for me, I feel like Hanish and Sabori's, the return to the mean for her going for her shots is going to come back. You know what I mean? She's missed too many.
Yep.
And I'd like to see him almost play aggressively. See, that's a conservative return there. It's a no miss. So I understand that. You're not going to miss. But I'd actually like to see him take a cut at some of these returns.
15 long.
That's another conservative return.
Yep, that's a don't miss return.
Yep. I mean, you know, and there's the cut forehand. But look, they've been in these situations plenty. They know what they're doing. It's great volley.
Response from Redezna.
Oh, got to hit her though. She didn't hit her, but
Yeah,
she
she
still
got away
gets
with
it. Still gets her.
And
Great,
she
great
was
volley.
just inside behind the service line when she hit that shot at her. Missed her. Taste of her own medicine there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's become a real grind here. Oh, she's sticking with the chip forehand. She's a flat ball. I still don't understand coming over why she wouldn't come over some of these. Like that. That's
Yep.
what I want to see a little more of. The forehand is going to force the air.
The first topspin forehand, we've seen her hit in a while.
I don't know if you consider that topspin. I was still, that was flat, but it was over the top to a degree.
I don't see Martin Boston waiting like 30 or 40 balls to the point. I don't see waiting 2 or 3 balls.
Martin Boston made a good effort today, lost 6-2 in the third against a tough team.
Desno really grinding with him. There's the big forehand we've not seen from that.
Yeah, I would like to see them more aggressive. In a weird way, I actually want to see her go right at her, not through the middle.
That's the point we saw in the first set.
Yep.
Right, we saw a lot of that in the first set, where she was aggressive with the forehand, opening up the court.
But it started with, right, the big forehand
Yes.
that puts the ball in transition. The transition starts and then the action happens, right? And that's what we need to see a little bit more from Hanish Sabori. I want to see them open it up a little, but they're not feeling it right now. And maybe they're not feeling it because they have made enough errors to give them pause, right? And we got a little scoreboard pressure. And there she felt it, and she went bigger, but she got a little late. See, that's the one, if I had to say, you know, it's sort of nitpicking when you're talking about criticizing an Panish game. It's 100% of a nitpick, but the shot that's called for there is a three-quarter roller dipping the ball inside the service box. She hits that flat ball, so she doesn't really have that ball that she can roll there,
Yep.
you know?
They've done such a good job this set, of just slowing the play down, playing to their strengths, not allowing the Hannah Sabori explosiveness to impact the match.
Yeah, it's a perfect strategic match. It's not a highlight reel match. It's a strategic, thing that you watch again. You look at it, you say, this is how I can compete in this scenario. And you see the exact way and the exact moments where Hannah Sabori have been taken out of their explosive game and now are grinding it. When they go for their explosive game, they're making it because they're giving them a chance.
And they split in the next court,
15
Brad.
love.
Morgan Sikora won the second set in a tiebreak.
I tell you, I think, we're talking about a little bit off air before too. They're switching the backcourt for them. I think it's a big difference. Sikora in the middle, taking that ball, eating up the center of the court more.
That's the first ball we may have seen from Hannah Sabori.
15 all.
Maybe. Very few. Yeah, the service game actually for both teams has been extremely solid. Like we watched, that great quarterfinal, Kira Medeiros. There were various times where there were just faults. They're like, in actually wreaking havoc in like a 40-love up game, you throw a fault in. And it was actually just a great battle down. This has become that. This set right here is already longer than the first set.
Oh, much
bit.
longer. Yeah, not even close.
And it's because of how Redesno and Cruz have responded. I like this use of waterfalls, actually, just for different looks. I would like to see it more in combination, not 4 in a row. Waterfall, long, waterfall, waterfall, long. They're just a little bit more. So, you got that. That's a great shot.
Could have played it off of the Cruz racket. He might not have counted, but
that was too good.
30,
Great use.
15.
Both teams just trying to find a way to win the points. Not so simple. And we saw like the ability early on, how we were sort of pinpointing how Hannah was able to control balls with her lobs. And she was going left, right, left, right. Cruz and Redesno have sort of committed to a strategy now where they're just working it to her every time, and they're saying, go ahead and drive it. Yeah, but they're not getting worried that many chances. They're going to go at Hannah. She's only really hitting chip forehands. She unloaded one in the last game. It's long, and now that's the smart play. Now you can go in there because you got Sabori leaning.
corner's all wide open.
Yep. Go back. That is an off the heels shot, and if I had to say anything, I think Sabori are
30 all.
they're a little off here.
Yep,
They're not sure where to go and what to do, and that's not something that happens that often. Joya down 5-1 against Nolan and McNerney.
Spoke earlier about the teams that are playing a lot are playing well, and nobody plays more than Graham McNerney. There's actually some talk that Cincinnati would get points because Graham didn't play.
And I, by the way, I'm 100% on board with that. If Graham doesn't play, there's no points in the tournament.
How could it count?
There you go.
40, 30.
And then, but it's also interesting how, I don't know if there's anything actually to this, but Berger-Doya don't have like a great track record here in Boston. They have a great track record, but not in Boston. They didn't have a great tournament here last year. It seems like the time of the season, I mean, they start off hot and early, and this year they just haven't played much at all.
No, this is
And
their
I think
second
this
tournament of the year.
But that being said, they didn't have a great Boston last year. They won the Nationals, right? So this will sort of be the start of the second half of the season for them. And when they're on, they are just a tough team, man. They don't make errors. Such a good volume team. They got offense. They have a couple of shots to me that make it hard for the top teams. Like the Burrs serve into the ad court. Take a guy like Durant or Powers with these huge returns. He actually takes that a little bit out of their game. Makes them win as many points with it. They are really working Hannah here. They have a complete game plan that they're sticking to now. They're going to work Hannah, so they're going to meet make Hannes beat him with drives, because we're not seeing any balls into Zabori unless it's behind Zabori and she's not got to play on it. She's not getting a blitz, she's not getting anything. There's a blitz. There's the blitz right there.
Okay, 4-all. Cruz Redesno have played well, but now getting to the business end of the set.
Business end of the set.
See if they can maintain the level. I feel like Zabori's starting to get a little more motion, a little more movement, finding the forehand.
Well, it's always sort of the case, you know, and I've always talked about this as players move up. You know, people are like, oh, like we took a set from, you know, the #2 team in the country. I'm like, that's great. Did you win?
Yeah.
Right. You know, these are the moments, right? You know, like, you know, the top teams are the top teams because they win these games.
Yep.
Right, and they put the pressure on. And Cruz Redesno, like we said, they're national champions too, so they're going to put up a great fight, which they've been doing. And I'm, you know, all kudos to the strategic changes they've made. I'm going to stick with it because it's got them here to 4-all. The only danger is getting too predictable at a certain point. We're going to have to throw an occasional ball into this. So that's a great block lob down into this board backhand just to keep her honest. That's the one. Board will not generally hurt you with the backhand off the screen. Look how far Zabori's coming to get that ball.
Steve DeRose-esque.
Big blitz there. Speaking of Steve DeRose, we got John Lubau, his old partner, making an appearance in the commentary booth. Glad to have him. Oh!
Great lob from Zabori.
Tremendous lob, and she went for the angle overhead from that deep. She's got to just push that ball back deep.
That was exactly what you talked about earlier. She caught the ball early, stole time from Redesno, and pushed her back and forced the error.
Great lob. Wow, Versher Doya out. Use Powers against Nolan and McNerney tomorrow in the men's semifinal. The other one being Asis Koenig and Humphreys against hometown favorites Grant Mitchell. 8 a.m. Mark. Are you going to be able to, you want me to say your alarm for you?
I'm getting up at
Give you a
4,
call?
Brad. I'm getting up at 4 for the Australian Open finals. So
Actually, that's impressive. And you know, you're not actually joking. You will be up at 4
I will
a.m.
be up
for
at 4
the,
for that match.
the Australian Open final.
Great dig from Zabori.
Yeah, he made it look easy. There are a couple of things to take note of. When she did it, she changed her grip to make an open face, almost an Eastern backhand. Scooped right underneath it. Just beautiful play. Got so much more pinpoint with her overheads. And I'm sure you know that. I mean, I still believe they can take some more cuts on the returns. They're really not going for it. They're just playing the safe game.
Yep.
And I understand. Like, if I were them too, I do understand thinking that, you know, if we play safe, who's going to beat us anyway? You know, it's sort of like who's going to beat us anyway, however they play, because they generally win. But, you know, they believe that they'll win this type of style as well.
And that's what we talked about earlier. There's
And they
so
will.
many
I
paths
mean,
that
there's
they
a good
can go.
chance. I mean, if I give you the opportunity to put money on Cruz Redesno, you're not going to do it right now, right? And you're not going to do it even if they win the set.
You're going to have to give me some really good odds.
Right, it's going to be the odds, right? And that's not taking anything away from Cruz Redesno. It's really just talking about the brilliance of Hannes Zabori.
Love 40.
Yeah, they've really kind of taken control here. Great lob there, set up the Zabori forehand and volley error. Chance for a first break of the set. Again, Zabori with a very conservative return.
Yep.
Talked about the Australian Open, Brad. Zabor used to travel with Djokovic when they were teenagers playing the juniors.
That's right, they're both Serbian.
She got a great story about Djokovic sneaking into the Aussie Open final when they were younger,
Wow.
getting thrown out and not having the money to take a cab ride home.
15-40.
That's great.
Zabori, Ivanovic, and Djokovic,
Oh, really?
2 future world number ones,
Ivanovic.
and the U.S. world number 1 in battle. And there it is.
Wow.
First good forehand we've seen from Hannes when they go in after it. They'll serve for the set, the match.
But, you know, it's interesting because we talk about this moment, and Cruz Rudezno, up to that point, we're doing everything right. And when the moment comes, you know, that's when a team like Hannes Sabori
Steps it up.
steps it up a little bit.
Yep, played a great game there. Even though the point they lost, it was good Zabori forehand, had them off the net, just missed it.
All right, so here we go, do or die now for Cruz Rudezno. Can they get a break? They haven't had a single break this match, I don't believe.
Nope, not
Been a
one.
Hold, not a single break this match. So if recent history is any indicator, they won't get it, but they've been playing the right way. They're going to give it their best effort, so we'll see. And if they get these things, I'm surprised to see that come out of that
Yeah,
moment.
really,
You know,
5-4,
they're getting
tight match.
conservative and like playing conservative drives, and goes with a heavy cutter from the service line. No less. It wasn't even the right real ball to do it on. There's Rudezno's going to get that one. But, oh, surprised to see her miss that. But that's the thing, when you make the opponent run that fast, anything's
15
gonna
love.
happen.
Yep, that far.
Oh, what a great return. That serve might have been long.
Yeah, I almost thought Zabori stopped because you thought it was long.
I'm gonna think she barely played that ball, like she was thinking it wasn't in. You know, that's kind of how I looked at it.
15 all, umpire had the score wrong there.
What's great about what Rudezno and Cruz did here is they made Hannes and Zabori beat them. And for a while there, they could, you know, they're making errors, and they got the errors they needed, and
They had to
ground
break
into it.
opportunities, just couldn't quite step through the door.
Ooh, and there's another. She goes for a heavy roller, misses her spot by a few boards there.
15-30.
All right, Cruz Rudezno sticking with the plan, which is exactly what they need to do. They want Hannes and Zabori to have to finish this on their paddle. They can't make an error. They can't speed it up for them too much. Yeah, that's going to be a bad. Nice cat toe. I thought that was trouble. Wow.
You seen one backhand from Rudezno? Yeah, usually she hits that shot a lot, but again, kudos to them for figuring out what's being successful.
Correct. She doesn't want to pull the trigger on something unless it's a guarantee. All right, and that's a great shot there. 30 all.
30 all.
Big
30
miss.
all.
Nice little mini waterfall. The honest truth is she should not have played that off the screen. She should have taken a block in that opportunity. She got fooled by that.
Points from the match.
All right. 2 points from the break. Oh, just ranging up at the net. Zabori. Hannes. No, she's got to go bigger there against a great volleyer. And here we are, match point.
40-30.
Oh, she goes for a big put away angle volley there. It's a highlight reel for Sophia, her daughter to see. And it's going to be a lot of highlight reels for their daughter to see, actually.
Again. Great transition there.
You know, it's a tough adage.
Catches the
That's
neck.
just a beautiful overhead and perfectly played. Nice
Add
pace.
in.
You know, if you don't hit a shot in a pressure point, how are you going to learn to do it at any time? So I can't ever fault somebody. you know, for trying these shots in the moments. Because how are you going to get better? What a spotted drive there.
Another match point save from Cruz Desno.
Keep her paddle up and move her body behind the ball better. Great spot. Now, Liz Cruz, when's the last time she drove a return to serve?
Thursday?
I mean, but that sort of goes to the strategy that they started using.
Oh, what a catch.
Track down from Desno.
Oh, I thought she had no chance at that ball.
Amazing speed. She's going to dig that one too. Just terrific.
And there's the backhand. See if they switch back here.
Cruz is fine on either side. Oh boy, did they earn that break point. Desno, amazing catch. She goes between the legs on break point. You gotta love her.
Tuya.
Well, if you don't try the pressure shots and the pressure moments, Brad, how would you know you could do it?
Or that's more like the fun shot, the pressure moment.
Yeah, that was a fun shot.
I
Tuya.
love it. You know, in a weird way, I think it's about even up that she makes that compared to a regular ball where she runs in front anyway. Oh my goodness, and they break right back. Cruz Desno sticking to the script. And like I said, they need Hana Sabori to have to finish it on their paddle, and they make an error.
A couple of big returns from Rodesno on match points.
Huge 2 match points saved. A little dicey moment here.
Yeah.
And I was worried when they got down, but Cruz Rodesno answering the bell. Oh, Mark, you're going to be up at 4 a.m. It's only, you know,
It's
5
early,
or 7.
Brad.
You're okay.
It's
You're
early.
good. I mean, you're no spring chickens.
A couple hours sleep's all I need.
Perfect. Maybe your sunny self.
Let's not go overboard. All of a sudden the lobs are a little shorter. Hana Sabori not opening up the court nearly as well as they were earlier. And the thing is, when Sabori comes that far over, it opens up her side wire and gives them a safe spot to hit the ball.
Right, and that's the thing. In the beginning set, we saw Sabori moving to the middle, cracking the forehand. We haven't seen that twice this set.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, in the middle of points. You can, of course, get it on a return to serve here or there, but even the returns have dried up for them because they're really not going for them. You know, they're hitting conservative, no-miss returns. And the chip forehands are still like a staple out of Hanish. They're grinding it.
Ball there. Another good transition.
Tuya.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, this is a little bit in don't miss mode right now.
Too much so.
Yep, I
For
agree.
my liking.
Yep.
You know, for my liking.
And she misses, yep.
Now, she's always sort of been the person who doesn't miss, and Sabori does the missing and the hitting and the
15 love.
blitzing. Actually, Hanish does the blitzing. She does plenty of blitzing. but,
Yes.
You know, but
She's gotten very conservative with her
she's
drives.
gotten so conservative that I'm not sure she can hit it again.
Yep.
You know, it gets to that point where if you don't hit it at all, how are you going to hit it
Right.
later? Right? You know, the only, you know, I could see from the way this is going now, I mean, like, I can see Cruz Rodesno actually taking this set. Oh, that's just a wicked shot right there.
First big four
But-
we've seen in a while from her.
If they take it, I don't know, like, I still feel like there's a ton in the tank for
Yes.
Hana Sabori, and they got 5 different directions they can go. I don't know if they can do this for 2 sets, Cruz Rodesno, but we'll start right here and see if they can just get this one.
Yep. Get this game.
Yeah.
This next point. Yeah, but it does no serve. She kind of flat and sits up and says
Oh.
hit me.
Good volley there, like a excuse me volley, came right up at her.
Look what I found.
Oh, surprising that she could stay off there. She knows that drive's coming.
15-30.
Sabori.
All right.
Warriors, you see, we have found her confidence is swinging again.
15-40.
Is that going in?
Hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard to tell to me. It was going long. I thought we might see Zbori blitz there.
So many slice forehands from Harnish.
It's really a strict diet of slicing.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing else but. Oh,
One break point saved.
yeah.
30-40.
It's a little razor's edge right now. Not a lot of confidence. I'm not seeing confidence out of the Hanish corner, actually. I'm seeing hanging in and, you know, hanging in there. Oh, great use, but
Great volley from Rodezno.
yep. I think her use of touch and various shots has been very effective for Zbori. But on a ball like that, I think her number one weapon is just the cannon. I'm surprised she didn't take it out. That goes to like sort of the big point aspect of it. Oh, back of the line. These women are such great sports.
Looking for the hard overhead. There it is.
Oh, what a block from Cruz. You see Rodezno getting ready to take off. She knows she's got to be tracking those down. Definitely one of the things that have helped their comeback, her ability to get a few of those.
Joanna. Joanna. Joanna, help me.
Oh, what a volley. Oh, couple of huge volleys there. Oh, Desno is covering some ground. She's great.
Catches the nick. It's amazing how often you catch the nick when you're out of position.
I mean, that is just a great point, though, from Hana Zbori, and I cannot fault Cruz Rodezno for a second. They made two good cuts. They even got a lead cord, and better playing by Hana Zbori. Way to go. Hold there at 6-5.
They'll serve for the match for a second time. Really got to respect the way Cruz Rodezno competed in the second set.
Well, you know, it should be lost that, you know, national champions are national champions for a reason. You know, they have used every ounce of their experience. They put this match in the exact place it needed to be to give themselves a good fighting chance to win it, and they're right
they may
here.
they may still win this set.
They're right here, you know, and they gave it every good look, and that was a great point they played at the last point. You know, just got beat. Sometimes that happens. She's going to do the block lob moving in. No, she's hitting a little return, but it's the conservative chip, and oi! This lob there.
15
Exactly
love.
the way you wanted to start it, but if they can get back into it. They've gotten, in all these games where they make a break back, they're getting at least one. Yeah, Cruz Rodezno lost that point,
Yes.
so it's Hana Zbori
15 love.
And, you know, they've got at least one sort of missed overhead from Zbori. That's a ridiculous volley there from Cruz.
15 all.
15 all. Just cannot afford that at this stage of the match.
I mean, Cruz has been so rock
30,
solid and
15.
been a big part of the comeback here, but unfortunate time for a couple of errors in this game here as Hannes is trying to serve it out.
Yep, 30-15.
That was a great money drive.
That's what the first ball we've seen Liz Cruz take it down up
30
overhead
all.
and attack it.
I mean, there have been very few in her corner, but you're right. Great shot, forces the air, 30 all. That's a good one. What again from Redesno. Drop shot.
She's got it.
that easily. That's a great play. All for a drop.
Great action.
This is perfect way to spend a Saturday night. Fans are loving it. That's out.
Missed it. Great point for Director.
30, 40.
Endlessly positive.
Love it.
Yep.
See, again, I would have thought that was the time for a three-quarter roller at the service line. But just takes the rip, just gets it a little long. That's going out. I tell you, Redesno has made some huge returns.
Yeah,
at
the
big
forehands.
moments.
Absolutely.
Big moments.
2 match points, and then the break point. And we got a breaker.
7-point tiebreaker.
That's just great volley from Liz
It
Cruz.
is great volleying. I think it's one too many cute shots. I think she needed to pull the hammer out on the second drive. She spotted it, but great fall. And then she's got the medium-low volley there. Tough shot, not that simple.
Morgan Sikora up 4-2 in the third on the next court.
Yeah, she misplayed that one. I don't know if she thought it was going in the crease or what happened there. She got fooled. Yeah, that's a big serve right there. That is a huge serve. Hannes really went after that. She actually kicked that one up into Redesno, who's been sticking returns, by the way, and draws the air. 2 good service points there.
Liz Cruz again with the answer on the volley. Oh! Sabori behind the back.
Why not?
You don't recommend that shot at 2-1 in the breaker?
No, I absolutely disagree. I'm in full recommendation.
Why not? Why not?
I don't recommend it for Tiernan Cabana, the PTA president.
Why not? Tiernan has that shot.
Help me! Yeah.
Oh, just dives behind her, so he didn't get back behind that ball. That's just amazing. Win the behind the back volley. Coming up behind me, a happy Thomas Nolan into the semifinals tomorrow against Hughes Powers. Victory in the quarters against Burris Urdoya, who's national champions. It is actually one of the things that makes Sabori so great, and why she has so many fans. Just the willingness to hit it behind the back.
So
volley.
much fun, yeah.
I mean, you know, between the leg shot, and
Well, it goes to how
makes-
she
and
had
she
no
makes
fear.
it. She
Yeah,
makes
she had
it.
no fear
yeah.
as she misses that easy overhead.
She didn't have fear of missing that either, though. That's the funny thing. Like, she missed it, but I bet if she would have made it if she did it between the
3
legs.
serving 2.
I mean, that's sort of palatable. They played a flawless first set. They didn't miss a single overhead, really.
Yep.
They're missing a few now, and the credit really goes to Cruz Rodesno for just committing to a certain strategy, which allowed them to stay in there longer and allowed for more missed chances, really, more than anything else. And they made it so hard, you know, for Sabori and Hanish to win points that Hanish Sabori actually started getting shot clock going, and they started making errors at inopportune times. Everyone has a shot clock. You know, everyone has it.
Yep.
Whether you can access, I mean, you know, the guy with the least shot clock of all time is probably Drew Broderick, right? You know, you really can't bait him into anything he doesn't want to do. But everyone does have one.
I go.
And for players like of the skill set of Zabori and Hanish, and Zabori in particular, like if she's not doing damage to you after a certain amount of time, she starts getting antsy.
Yeah, no question.
Like doing this, these overheads she's hitting are all relatively meaningless. I mean, they're not doing anything. She's not creating movement or damage. She doesn't want this to be the scenario, and that's what. And then she gets the errors because this is not a comfortable situation for her. And this is what Cruz Rodesno did. This is what the game allows too, to some degree. It's tough, and it's the mental part of the game that is so hard. It's funny that nobody's unloading. Like she could have unloaded on that drive with a semi-western grips, but she said that's gonna be tough. That was a perfect one. Bad block lob there. Stole the time from herself and didn't get it up, and then hammered back.
3 serving 4.
5-2 Morgan Sikora on the next court.
Impressive.
You told me you had them in the final. That was your initial pick.
Always rooting for everybody. Rooting for them as well. They're a great team. And Charlotte Sikora, smile on her face.
I love Charlotte Sikora.
Every five, you know, Allison Morgan as well.
We talked
Always.
earlier about on the Easterbrook scale, they lead the country in happiness.
Happiness scale. Oh, that's a well-spotted drive, and I'm glad she went for it. And she picked that spot. She went hard and in right off the hip. Gives Hana Sabori a little lead there, 5-4, 2 points from the match.
Right here.
All right, here Sabori.
5 serving
Hard to
4.
hear from the audio sometimes, but give it a right here. She's pumped. And champions do recognize moments, there's no question. You know, I was watching, it's just a league match, Mark, but I was watching a league match maybe a month ago. And, you know, it was on the other side of the court is a top player. And you know, against two, you know, good players, you know, and they're down 5-2 in the second, and like these guys are up 5-2. I'm like, I think the score's gonna be 7-5 for the top player, and the score was 7-5 for the top player. You know, it's never that big of a surprise.
Match point here, number 3.
Wow, she's going for it. She's gonna get this one. Wow. Oh. Oh.
Oh! Sabori again.
That was out.
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 Confirmed by
Called out.
chair umpire.
Oh my
Goes
God!
to the
What a way to win that one, Mark. How about that? Behind the back volley, and Hana Sabori take it 6-1, 7-6. But to me, the story really is Cruz Rodesno, national champions, using their experience, understanding how to bring this match to a level where they made it a real match. The first set wasn't a match.
Yeah, the first set they got run over. They changed their strategy, and Could have easily come out ahead in second set.
You gotta love Hana. She's going to Ivan Zabori, and there's the heart here from Zabori. And let's see, 2 behind the back volleys. I don't think a tweener to the legs, right? Of course.
And they weren't like routine, right? They were just going back.
The behind the back volleys were ridiculous.
Yes,
never
absolutely.
actually seen it one time in the men's game. Actually, I've never seen it. And
maybe we should challenge Johan Durant to see if he can pull that off.
You know, right? He needs a challenge.
Yeah.
Totally down with challenging Durant to anything. For me, it'll be more like checkers, chess, you know. But you challenge him to whatever you want. And you know, and that leads us to, you know, tomorrow we're going to be back 8 a.m. men's semifinals, followed by women's finals at 10, and then the men's finals right after that at 12. So an incredible day of paddle still going. And if you're watching this channel, tune right in to our second YouTube channel where we got Macy, you know, Medeiros and Lynn Kiro fighting for their lives in the third set against Sakura and Morgan. So there's some more great paddle over there. And Mark, we'll see everybody tomorrow morning right here on the APTA YouTube network, 8 a.m. for a men's semifinal action. And we'll see everybody then.
Good night, everybody.
What is a cutter?
Ball with a lot of spin.
A cutter is a fun shot.
A cutter is an offensive overhead commonly used close to the net.
A spin shot where you get underneath the ball.
Side of the ball, bottom of the ball, the other side of the ball.
Carving around it in different ways.
You just have to have a loose wrist.
And you basically try to make the ball spin backwards or sideways.
It either spins short or deep and causes confusion for the baseline team.
High performance never tasted this good. Chocolate, berries, cinnamon, agave. Fuel your body with the shot and the bar. Now available in a deliciously energizing power pack. See how much farther you can go with Remedy Plus.